Hey there, hey friends, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice, and today we're planning on using Funto to have a little bit of fun. This is going to be a really kind of relaxed, kickback type of video. We're going to be doing an overview of this new product. I decided not to do a review. I will be posting links to a very good and thorough review of the product by Lindsay the Frugal Crafter in the video description. So this is the Funto, it says Expert Watercolor Pocket Set, perfect for travel, high quality, mini size, non-toxic. There are 9 colors included. Now on the back of the box here, you are going to get the same verbiage and diagrams of everything that's included in the box. There is a watercolor palette, a clip, a metal clip for your papers, your book, your palette onto paper, a velvet bag for carrying, and a leather pouch for the actual palette. Let's see, there is a QR code. Funto watercolor paints are available in a variety of sizes and styles. So I'm assuming that's going to take you to their website. Follow it at Funto Art for helpful tips and tutorials. Conforms to non-toxic ASTM D4236 and EN 71 regulations. There is a little warning here for choking hazard because there are small parts and it's not recommended for children under 3. And finally, the product is made in China. So let's pop this open here. Now, I sort of did a mini unboxing of this today that I unveiled it. I think the day that I went through this as a new product was on a live. If I can find that video, I will link it. I'm not sure if I edited that part out or not. But anyway, here we have the velvet bag. There is the clip for clipping it onto like your belt or a bag, book bag, which is really handy. You have your clip for holding down your paper or your sketchbook. And then, of course, there's the palette inside its own little leather case with the ring on the back so that you can clip on the hook here. So, pretty nifty, pretty cool. I am really drawn to novelty type travel palettes, and I really do think this is super cute and neat. So, here I have the green one, square. If I had to guess, it's about 2 inches by 2 inches. Let's see here. Yeah, it's about 2 by 2. It's hinged on one side. There's an indentation on the palette for you to pop it open. Opens pretty easily there. On the inside, you immediately get a swatch sheet with color names. 2 palettes that extend out or fold out to the side. And then 9 colors of paint there. And it does look like a mixing palette. Get some really nice colors. We'll play around with the mixing and see what happens. Now, this is very reminiscent as far as the way the paints are cut of the Zenart travel system. And maybe I'll grab that and just show it to you guys for visual comparison. So let's see if we can pop out this swatch sheet here. See if I can get it out. Okay. And then I guess you could mix there as well. I mean, it's not white or clear, but if you just had to, you could mix there. And that's the palette. It's really cute, compact. I do like the fact that it's small, very relative on small with the footprint, you know, and it still has 9 paints. And if you got this palette and you didn't like the paints, you could always replace it with something that you do like. So I figure what we'll do is we'll swatch them out. We'll swatch it there on the little swatch sheet. And maybe I'll just put that back in there. And then I have a book here that I'm going to dedicate some swatching to. So we'll swatch it here on this 140-pound cold press acid-free paper. Now, this is a student grade paper, but it is a really nice student grade cellulose paper. I've enjoyed doing a few paintings on it. Some of them I haven't quite finished yet. Some of them I have. I've done some of them on Patreon, some of them on YouTube, but pretty decent book of paper. Let me spray down the little palette here. There we go. And it's got like minimum mixing room. But I do believe what I'm going to do is actually swatch the paints in Mass Tone at the top and then just drag it down towards the bottom of each of the swatching jars. Now this swatching sheet was produced from Christy Rice's swatching stamps. You guys know I use those on a very regular basis in order to make my swatching sheets. I like for them to be really whimsical and cute, and that stamping set makes it super, super easy. Pretty affordable. I think it's about 32 bucks over on Amazon or ChristyRice.com. I'll see if I can remember to link it in the video description just in case you decide it's something you're interested in. So let's see if we can go right in and get these swatched. We'll start with the lemon yellow here. And then I will rinse the brush and just use water to drag that on down. Beautiful color. It's really bright. Next up, we'll do this is Oriental Orange. So it's nice that you have, it might turn out to be a mixing pattern. Seriously. Let's rinse that brush and drag those colors on down. Now, of course, this set doesn't have any light fast or any transparency information. I don't believe this to be anything that is on the professional level, especially not based on the review that I saw on it. And of course, right away with the quality of the paints, you can tell that there are a few brighteners in it, but it seems to be really decent. It does. I'm already not regretting purchasing this. Now, I have no relations or no dealings with Funto. I just thought that this would be a really neat palette, but it was not sponsored by the company. And this is a beautiful rose color. This is Quinn Rose. So we had Yellow Light, Oriental Orange, Permanent Red, and we're swatching Quinn Rose. So far, so good on the colors. They're super beautiful, saturated colors. We're going with a lilac purple here. And again, the way I'm swatching is Mass Tone at the top, and then using water to drag it on down to see what we would get as far as a lighter variation of that paint is concerned. Beautiful, beautiful colors. I can already tell it's going to be a really fun set. This is Cobalt. So super compact. This is great for plein air painting, possibly even urban sketching. I mean, just the palette itself. The paints seem to be really cool right off the bat as well. So I'm gonna get these swatched on out. And of course, we're gonna have to do some color mixing. I think that'll be a nice transition in steps. And then maybe even a little painting demo. I've been painting on hot press paper a lot lately. And I'm really, really, really loving the results that I'm getting on it. So I'm probably going to paint on hot press paper as far as doing a demo with these today in this video. Now, after lilac purple, we had cobalt blue, ultramarine blue. Now we're going in for phthalo green. And then from phthalo green, we will go to Payne's Gray, which was really surprising that there was a Payne's Gray. But I guess I should be really happy that they didn't just kind of throw in a white. So, or white or a black. Since most of us, consider those colors that we don't necessarily need, most artists will use the white of the paper. And as far as neutrals are concerned, most of us like to mix our own neutrals. However, if you're not a mixer, and you're someone who likes the convenience of convenience colors, Just know that this palette does not have a black or a white in it. But you can always darken your colors with your Payne's Gray. Or you can mix neutrals by mixing colors that are across from each other on the color wheel, like yellow, purple, blue, and orange, red, green. So you can there's always ways to mix your good neutral. So there we have that. I'm not sure if I want to glaze those. I think that's pretty cute. You get a really good representation of the colors. So I'm grabbing Bohong 100% cotton watercolor paper here. And I would like to see what some different things are gonna do for us. So we'll start off with the light yellow on one side, the Oriental orange on the other. Beautiful colors, especially on this 100% cotton paper. We'll go with permanent red, which is the cooler of, it's gonna be the, warmer of the colors of our reds. And then we'll go with Quin Rose because that's gonna be the cooler of our reds. Now, both of these are pretty. Other two blues, they're both warm, but Cobalt is warmer, in my opinion. And then Ultramarine we'll put on this side simply because it's cooler than the other, although they're both warm. Let's see, so we need to mix some. Let's mix some yellow and some cobalt blue. And we get a green here. Beautiful color. Mixed really well. That's a beautiful yellow green. Base layer for foliage. Let's go with the cobalt blue and permanent red. See what kind of violet we get here. Okay, we need more blue in that. Still a little red. Trying to balance it out. There we go, that's better. Nice. Nice purple. And then let's do our lemon yellow and some permanent red. Very balanced orange. It's got a little bit more red in it than I would like, but they still mixed really clean. All right, let's do the the cooler. I keep saying it, the cooler of the colors. I'll go with the Oriental orange, and we'll go ahead and start with the ultramarine. They're very easily activated. Let's mix a little bit more Oriental in that. Very easily activated. It's more of an olivey greenish color. It's very, this orange and blue is going to neutralize and give you more of a brown. So that's a great way to mix a brown. You would have to be very, very careful with that in order to mix a green. And it's going to definitely be more along, let's use the top of the palette here. It's definitely going to be more along the olive line. And let's see if I can just grab just a touch of ultramarine. And it's really just gonna, it's just gonna go brown. It's not gonna mix the green at all. This is definitely gonna go brown. So this is a very good lesson in color mixing, simply because that yellow is so orange. I'm pretty sure they're probably using, I would assume there's an orange pigment or orange dye in it. And because they're across from each other on the color wheel, they neutralize and they make a brown. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. And I'm sure if you add enough blue to that, it'll go gray. Let's try the orange and the rose. Let's see how that works out. Okay. And it's more of a maybe peach leaning color. So the orange does not have enough yellow pigment in it in order to serve as really the warmer of the yellows, I guess, especially not for mixing purposes. But it's a cool orange just as a convenience color. And these are the type of things you kind of discover as you kind of play around and mix your colors. This is why I always suggest this, especially with a new set of paints, that you really take time to get to, explore them a little bit before you do a painting with them. Let's see, that would be, I could use that color on like a grapefruit. So yeah, you can get different combinations of mixtures. The main thing I wanted to test is that they mixed cleanly and didn't make mud. And the only mud that we have here is, where it purposely should make a neutral. So that's really, really cool. Now there is no burnt sienna in this set. There's no yellow ochre in the set. So, our Payne's gray would primarily serve as our gray. Now you could spruce that up. You could do the Payne's gray and add ultramarine blue to it, which is gonna give it, probably take it more towards the Payne's gray I'm used to. So you could definitely blue it up a lot. That's more of an indigo. Look at that. It's a beautiful color. So yes, the mixing ability of the palette is pretty good. I think it would serve every purpose that I needed it to serve when it's, when I'm out and on the go. Let's see here. They blend beautifully on the paper. Absolutely beautiful. I want to see how well they're gonna lift. So I'm putting down paints for a lift test. About the time we get through with our little painting, this should have dried enough for us to do a little lift test there. I'm gonna forego doing a soft test simply because I feel like they would react just the way we would expect, watercolors to react with soft. So I'm gonna grab and put together something for us to paint. It'll be a few seconds for you. I can't tell you how much fun it is to share this mini painting with you all today. I have been on this holiday ride this month, and it has really been a release for me. Today, this composition has a special little place in my heart. When I was young, every year, my granny would have these candles that went out with all of the Christmas decorations. Every single time this season starts to come around, I am flooded with memories of my younger self and family, and it fills me with so much happiness. I thought it would be a really cute idea to do a variation of one of those candles that I remember with you all today. Now, for a supply list, I am, of course, using the Funto Travel System palette. The paper is the Potentate 100% cotton, 140-pound hot press watercolor paper. Now, this is a 2 by 2 inch little sketchbook that I ordered from the Lightwish storefront on Amazon, although it is a Chinese art brand. So I'm assuming that Lightwish sells their products like they do with many other brands. I also want to let you know that today's time lapse is available on Patreon for all Creation Station members as December's full-time paint-along. I feel like it's a great video. I had so much fun talking through what I was doing to create this composition, and of course there is a traceable included. So if you are a member, do go check it out. If you aren't, then maybe it's something you want to consider. It's very affordable, and the link will be in the video description. As far as the composition goes, I am only using 3 colors to complete this painting. the warmer of the reds, which is permanent red, the lemon yellow, and the green of the set, which is phthalo green. There are so many different benefits to point out about what we are doing today, starting with painting small. Now, painting small is a great way to get your ideas down on paper. I would look at it as like building a roadmap of where you are going to go with completing a bigger version of whatever you may be practicing on while painting small. I am also using it to look at designs I may evolve into stickers in the future. So, even if you're not painting, try to do a thumbnail of whatever composition you are working on before you jump into the final workout and see the huge difference it can make in your artwork. Secondly, I want to point out that I am limiting my color palette with this small painting. A lot of times when painting out and about, we have to limit our color choices. I mean, the average person does not take a 72 color mixing palette with them to do urban sketching or plein air painting. Plus, as I have always stressed, limiting your color palette can greatly improve the chances of color harmony in anything you happen to be creating. You can see from the video that the red and the green were used to paint at least 98% of this composition, with me including yellow sparingly here and there. There was a thin layer of yellow that went on the holly leaves, and of course the colors used to paint the flames were yellow and the permanent red mixed together to make the orange going around the outer layer. Other than that, I used the green to darken the red and the red to darken the green. Colors across from each other on the color wheel will work to neutralize each other, creating a dark that one can use for a shadow if needed. Lastly, I want to point out the importance of painting things that you love and that make you feel good. As I mentioned earlier, I am painting something that represents very great memories from my past. When we as artists create those things that we feel a connection to, we tend to create some of our best work. There is so much importance in finding the joy in your creation. So many things can affect it. Everything from the atmosphere you place yourself in, your mood at the time that you're creating, and of course, the relationship between what you love and what you paint. Now, with all that said, I really enjoyed creating this future sticker design with you today. I also love getting a chance to put this palette into action, although I already had a pretty good idea of the quality before I started. Now, to wrap this video up, I will be giving an overview of my thoughts of the usefulness of this product so that I can wrap up this creation video and get to my final thoughts. That, my friends, is the Funto watercolor pocket travel system. It is actually pretty cool, I do have to say so myself. And like I told you guys earlier in the video, I am going to be linking a video review of this product that I thought was very well done and very thorough, and there's no more for me to add to it, so definitely check that out. But I would have to say, on a scale of 1 to 5, as far as fun goes, I would give this a 5. Definitely not a professional fine art paint by any means, but a very, very decent student grade paint. And, have my theory, of course, about who may be producing it. So we did swatch them out. Very vibrant colors, not a huge shift from wet to dry or anything, you know. They mix pretty well, if you guys remember. And we were going to do a bit of a lift test. Again, this is not a review. It's just playing around with the paints. And just in case you haven't seen a review on it, letting you see what they're capable of doing. So I'm going to just make a big circle. This is a golden tack line brush. I'm just trying to see how much we can reactivate here. It's a 100% cotton paper, so it can take a little bit of wear and tear. And that's been down about 24 hours. This is not the hardest brush. I would definitely suggest one where the bristles are more compact together. But with that said, they will reactivate and lift back in order for you to get a highlight at least. So, pretty decent set. I have no corns with them. I really enjoyed the little painting that I did. This was so cute. I really like this idea. And I'm going to be doing many more of these in order to plan out bigger paintings and bigger sketches that I want to make videos of. So, I really think this is so cool. I did, you know, kind of do the little research to see how it was. I would be able to clip it on the go. So you use the clip and you actually just kind of clip it to the opposite end of the sketchbook that you're working in. So if I was outside, I would be using it like this, which I think is pretty cool. It's a pretty decent setup, really compact. You got enough mixing room. I really would remove the swatch sheet in order to use that as mixing area as well. Maybe even put a little water in it. I don't know. But it could definitely be a convenient little setup to paint on the go. And I think this set is listed on Amazon at $25 right now. And for what you get, you know, the little cute pleather carrying case, you get the hook to put it on your belt, your bag, or your purse. You're going to get the clip, the actual little palette, the velvet carrying bag. I mean, the swatch sheet for whatever that's worth. At least you do have a reference for names as to what they are. So, you know, you have to make a decision of your own on whether or not you think that's worth $25. Now, I will let you know that you can also find this system on Temu. It's much cheaper, but it doesn't come with all of the extra accessories. I know it doesn't come with the clip. It doesn't come with the doesn't come with the belt clip. It doesn't come with the palette clip. I'm not sure if it comes with the pleather carrier either. I know it comes in a bag. I think it's just a bag and a palette for around $8 or $9. So if I'm remembering correctly, I will put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. So that is something to consider if all of this wasn't important to you. Now, the closest thing I found in my little collection here that resembles this product is the Zen Art Nomad paints. Now, this is a travel system by Zen Art, and they came out with this little really neat setup for a travel palette. And if I can find this, I will list it. But what I did notice is that the paints have not only the same shape similarly, but they also have the same kind of overgloss after the paints have been wet in order to paint with them. They give you the same feel. I mean, all the way down to the individual color. It looks as if though I can transpose the colors from this palette to this one. So I would believe that Funto and maybe this particular palette by Zen Art might be coming out of the same factory in China. I just think those are eerily close. I mean, take a look at that. Look at how once they dry, I mean, I could actually add those sets together and you would not be able to tell which one is which. So I do think, you know, if you have this travel palette system already, maybe you don't need this one. Or maybe you like this particular setup better because it does come with the brushes. I'm not sure if it's still available. It goes in and out of availability. But if it is available, I will link it in the video description. So, and this one goes for I want to say somewhere around the same price, about 25, somewhere between 25 and $30 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, all of that is something to consider. Would I, if I had to do it all over again, would I pay 25 bucks for this? I would. I'm a novelty travel palette freak. I love things like this. I think that it's such a cute little small footprint, but it has so much paint in it. And I do like the fact that the palette can be reused. So you don't just have to keep those in there if you're completely unhappy. Although I would have to say, I think the paints are actually pretty good for a student grade set of paints. If I had to guess, I'd say this is a superior white label. If I had to guess, the paints just perform too similar to like the fan palettes and the fold out palettes. It really reminds me of that paint. So there you have that, friends. There's my little 2 cents, my little overview about this palette. Hey, you know, if you feel this for you, I say give it a shot. If not, you probably have plenty of paints already that'll do the job. I like these. I really like this little system, and I'm probably going to source to see if I can find other palettes along this little get up. So if you found anything helpful or anything you like, anything, just enjoyed hanging out, whatever, sprinkle a little love, give the video a thumbs up. Yep, you know what it's going to do. Sharing is caring, so please share if you choose to. Jump in the comment section. Let me know. Have you tried this little palette? What do you think of it? Do you have the Art Nomad palette? Do you have them both? Do they seem the same to you? You know, I like to dig into things like this and discover things like this. I think it's so cool. I really feel like those are the same paints. So jump in the comment section and let me know what you think about the whole situation. You can check the video description for all relevant links. And if you haven't subscribed, do hit that subscription button and notification bell so you know when we go live or when we upload. I'll see you guys on Monday for our regular schedule live at 11 a.m. And in the meantime, remember, as I always tell you, just keep creating.